The waves crashed against the rugged cliffs below the old lighthouse, sending tendrils of mist swirling around its towering structure. The wind moaned through the rusted metal frame, causing the balcony to creak and groan under its relentless assault. Inside the lighthouse, Thomas, the keeper, sat hunched over his weathered desk, poring over the tattered pages of an ancient journal he had found hidden in the dusty attic. The journal belonged to Walter Price, the first keeper of the lighthouse, a man long dead but whose presence still lingered within the walls of the cursed structure. Thomas had always sensed a dark aura surrounding the lighthouse, but it wasn't until he stumbled upon the journal that he began to unravel the mysteries that lay hidden within its stones. According to the journal, Walter Price had been a devout man, dedicated to his duty of guiding ships safely through the treacherous waters that surrounded the lighthouse. But as Thomas delved deeper into the pages, he realized that Price's devotion had turned to obsession, an obsession with the light that burned relentlessly in the lighthouse's tower. The entries grew more frantic and disjointed as Price described strange occurrences that began to plague the lighthouse. Shadows moved of their own accord, whispers echoed through the empty corridors, and a coldness settled over the building that no fire could dispel. Price wrote of seeing figures in the mist, faces twisted in agony and despair, reaching out to him with skeletal hands. As Thomas read on, a sense of unease crept over him, and he couldn't shake the feeling that he was being watched. The lighthouse seemed to pulse with a malevolent energy, and the light that had once comforted him now filled him with dread. Determined to uncover the truth, Thomas set out to explore the hidden passages and forgotten chambers of the lighthouse, following in Price's footsteps as he sought to unravel the mysteries that lay buried within the building's depths. The further he delved, the more he realized that the lighthouse held secrets far darker than he could have ever imagined. One moonless night, as the storm raged outside, Thomas stumbled upon a hidden chamber deep within the bowels of the lighthouse. The air was thick with the scent of decay, and the walls were lined with strange glyphs and symbols that seemed to writhe and pulsate in the dim light of his lantern. As he moved further into the chamber, Thomas came upon a pedestal, upon which rested a crystal orb pulsating with an otherworldly light. Drawn to it by an unseen force, he reached out to touch the orb, and as his fingers brushed its smooth surface, a vision flashed before his eyes. He saw Walter Price, consumed by madness, tearing at his own flesh as he chanted in an ancient tongue. He saw the light in the lighthouse warp and twist, becoming a beacon of darkness that drew ships to their doom upon the rocks below. And he saw a shadowy figure lurking in the corner of the chamber, its eyes filled with malice and hunger. With a gasp, Thomas pulled back his hand, the vision fading as quickly as it had come. He knew then that the lighthouse was cursed, that an ancient evil had taken root within its walls, feeding off the souls of those who dared to enter. As he turned to flee the chamber, a cold wind whispered through the corridors, extinguishing his lantern and plunging him into darkness. And in that darkness, he heard a voice that whispered of torment and suffering, of a curse that could never be broken. But Thomas refused to be swayed by fear. With determination in his heart, he vowed to rid the lighthouse of its curse, to release the souls trapped within its walls, and to bring peace to the restless spirits that haunted its halls. Armed with the knowledge he had gleaned from Price's journal, Thomas set out to perform the ancient ritual that would banish the evil from the lighthouse once and for all. The night was long and fraught with danger, the shadows twisting and writhing as he worked to break the curse that held the building in its grip. And as the first light of dawn broke over the horizon, bathing the lighthouse in a golden glow, Thomas felt a sudden sense of peace wash over him. The cursed light had been extinguished, the ancient evil banished back to the depths from whence it came. The lighthouse stood silent and still, the echoes of the past fading into the mist that clung to its stones. And Thomas, the keeper of its secrets, knew that the darkness had been vanquished, and that the light that now shone from the tower would guide ships safely through the stormy waters once more. But as he stood gazing out over the cliffs, a shiver ran down his spine, for he could still feel the eyes of the shadowy figure upon him, a reminder that some curses were not so easily broken. and that the price of meddling with dark forces was a burden that would haunt him for the rest of his days.